blinding flash of white light lit up the sky over Gaza tonight. People running for cover, not knowing whether they're dead or alive. They came with their tanks and their planes, with ravaging fiery flames, and nothing remains, just a voice rising up in the smoky haze. We will not go down in the night without a fight. You can burn up our mosques and our homes and our schools, but our spirit will never die. We will not go down in Gaza tonight. Women and children alike, murdered and massacred.
How we can do that? When we leave here today, after we've yelled and we've made sure that we shook this building with our screams, we need to implement it into every single thing we do every day. What we buy, we need to make sure that not a single penny, that not a single ounce goes to the occupation, supports the occupation. Where we go, where we buy our books, what we eat, what we show our children, none of it can go to Israel. We have to demand that they stop. We have to demand that they stop. Let it be known, let the history books show, so that when our children's open up the history book, they see that we gathered here today, June 1st in Chicago, in front of the Israeli consulate. And this is where we shook the world. This is where we changed. This is where the movement began. This is where we freed Palestine. And I just want to add one more thing. Even though the people of Gaza are starving, even though the people in Gaza are in desperate need of those wheelchairs, those construction materials, the food, the medicine that was on that ship, they will survive. They will survive, that is for certain. There is nothing you can do to deter the will of that people. But all that I ask of us here today is that we never forget them. Because I used to think that the leaders and officials of this country didn't know. I used to think that they were not aware of what was happening in Palestine. I now know better. They know every single detail. But until we shout in their faces, until we hold them hostage and let them know that we will not move until they stop and free Palestine and award the rights to the Palestinian civilians. So it begins here. It begins here, and it begins with you. It begins with all of us. So I just want to conclude by saying one last thing to all of you. That Gaza and Palestine and the West Bank and anybody that's being occupied or under oppression, they will always resist because they have the truth on their side. They will never, ever surrender. The question is, will we? And I think we're showing here today that we won't. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Round of applause.
We will not go down in Gaza tonight.